Hey guys, so today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to teach you how to graph lines using a calculator. We are going to be working in the pink packet. On the front has instructions. The other two pages, one has a elf grid and the other one is a 4x3 box in it. So just make sure you have a ruler and a calculator and a pencil or pencil preferably because you might make a mistake, ready to go. And at any point during this video, if you need to pause it, please do to take notes. These are the 3 pages that we're going to be working on. This is the instructional page that I'm going to be working through with you guys. You don't really need to look at it. This page is going to be where we graph, and this page is where we're going to be copying down our table. So make sure those 2 pages are front to back or facing each other, the graphing page and the copying down your notes page. Okay, these are the lines in the boxed area that we are going to be graphing. There are 12 of them. I'm going to lead you through the first one, and then we're going to be you're going to work on the rest on your own. So first, let's make sure that we start from the beginning and reset our calculators where we press second plus 712, so we're all at the same page or on the same page. Now what we're all going to do is we're going to press the Y equals button that is on the top left-hand corner of the graphing buttons on top. It's in gray. And your screen should look like this when you press it. Again, pause the video if you're not there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to graph that first equation on the page. It's Y equals 1 over 5x plus 7. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take that equation and we're going to type it into the area where it says y1. But remember, so you're only going to type in 1/5 x plus 7. You're not plugging in y, just the stuff to the right of the y. And in order to get the x in your calculator, you need to click the x, t, theta, n button on your calculator. It's not in red. It just, this happened to be red when I took a picture. Okay, now your screen should look like this. If your screen does not look like this, pause the video, go back, and look at where you made a mistake. Now we're going to press graph, which is on the right-hand side, and your graph should look like that. If your graph does not look like that, you just need to rewatch the video and follow the instructions again. Now we're going to need to graph the line from the calculator on our ELF page. We're going to put it there. So in order to do that, we need to get a table of points. And where do we get those points from? From the table in our calculator. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy that table on this page. Now, each graph, there are 12 boxes. Each graph, you're going to copy a table for each one in each one of the boxes. Right now, I'm only going to instruct you on this one box in particular. So to get the points for the graph, we need to get to the table in our graphing calculator. In order to do that, you need to press the second button and the graph button. The second is the blue one and the graph is the gray one. And you'll notice that the word table is in blue. That will allow us to get to the table in the calculator. Now, this is what your screen should look like. If it doesn't, it just means you either didn't press second graph, you never reset your calculator in the beginning, so your table is starting at a different spot, or you plugged in the wrong equation. So if that happens, you need to make a correction, go back, rewatch the video, change what you need to do. Otherwise, let's move on. Now we're going to copy down points from this table onto that paper, but we're not going to copy down any of these fractions. We're going to skip over all of those fractions, and some of you may have decimals in there in the Y1 column. So first, we're going to start with the 0.07 because that's a point we can graph. So what we're going to do is on that page, we're going to write 0.7 in there, but in order to write it, we need to make a table. So you're going to make a little table in that box, an X and Y column, and you're going to put 0.7, just directly copying it from the table. Now we're going to need to find another point, so we're going to scroll to find it. And here's what you should do to scroll. So you're just pushing that down arrow in the X column, and eventually we're going to push the up arrow to get negative numbers, but that's how you scroll to get another point. Now we're going to write that point, which was 5, 8 in the table. We're skipping over all the fraction numbers. Now we're going to scroll and find the next point, which is 10, 9, and we're going to write that in the table. Now we're going to scroll up all the way up to the negative area to find another point where we can graph. One of them is negative 5, 6, and the other one's negative 10, 5. Make sure to write those in the table. Just when I was typing, it wasn't fitting. Make sure yours fits nicely into that one box. Again, you should be scrolling up and down the table to find nice, neat points that you can plot. Pause the video if you don't have this table down or you're really not sure how to scroll. Go back and look at what I did in the video to scroll. Now that we have the 5 points, we're going to plot them on the ELF page. And I'm going to zoom in. So the first point we're going to plot is 0, 7. So that means you go over 0, up 7. So I go all the way up there and plot the point. The next one was 5, 8. So we're going to go over 5, up 8, and plot the point. And you're going to continue to do this for the next 3 points. Pause the video to give yourself some time to plot the points. Now your graph should look like this with the 5 points that we made. You plotted this one, and then you went to this one, and then you went over to this one, and then down here. If it doesn't look like that, please go back and erase your work and make corrections. Now, lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to take a ruler and we're going to draw a line through those points, but you need to extend the line from one end of the graph all the way over to the other end of the graph as shown here. And the goal is to see which elf it's cutting through, and obviously it's cutting through this elf. Now, since that line hit the elf circled here, you're going to write y equals 1 over 5x plus 7 next to that elf at the bottom of the paper, like I did here. So at the top of the paper is the graph, but at the bottom are all the elves that you're going to be catching with the different lines. So that's where you would put the answer for this activity. You're going to continue doing this for the next 11 questions. Your paper will have a lot of lines that overlap and intersect each other, and that's okay. You just have to make sure that each line hits only one elf. If you couldn't follow this video, go back and rewatch it. I really took a lot of time to explain this. There should be someone in your group that could explain it to you if you're not sure. Ask them questions to see how to do this. Otherwise, good luck, and I'm going to collect this packet at the end of the period to see how much you guys got through. All right, guys, have a great day and awesome job.